put this show as Renaissance Tour recap with some wrestling because
Shout out to Beyonce, yo.
yo,
Yeah.
yo, all last week, nigga, I did not watch a lick of wrestling, nigga.
Didn't see shit. I didn't see shit. I'm sure. I saw when you texted me. I texted back like, dude, I literally have not seen one thing.
Bro, bro, bro. Haven't seen a stitch of wrestling, bro. A stitch of wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like I mean, we could sit and talk because we catch the clips, so you can go online and catch up with things. But as grown men, we got priorities, and things we got to handle sometimes that take place over the entertainment. So it's rightfully so. I get it, man. I get it, man.
Well, and with that too, like that was kind of one of the things I wanted to steer into the conversation a little bit of just like how enjoyable it can be if we were in that space. Like it's what we say that we want, right? But like how much real work and sweat equity goes into sacrificing
Hmm.
um you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like life, you know what I mean? Like you kind of almost feel like an absolute the way wrestling can consume you, right? And can consume your social habitat and everything like that. Like you
Hmm.
kind of lose. Like remember, we used to be on the phone just talking about wrestling, and we'd be like, "Yo, nigga, do we got anything for the podcast?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how you after an hour of talking wrestling, like, yo, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we were just talking wrestling so much, but like over the course of like you say, life been lifing, wrestling ain't even really interesting enough to not be, take our interest off of the shit that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I think we are. Wrestling just took a little dip after SummerSlam. At least WWE at least has. I know that AEW is gearing up towards their All In show, but
yeah,
when we are when we are,
is in the weakest moment that it has ever been in.
it's
I'm
dark days, yo, dark days over there.
surprised, bro. So surprised.
Oh my god, yo, my god, dog. You hear about Dak? I mean, Dax.
Yeah, he got arrested if I'm not
Yo,
mistaken down here in Orlando or down
yep.
in Orlando.
Pull the strap on somebody. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, I can definitely see him doing that.
Word. It just I hear them. I mean, listen, it's all rumors and shit, but I hear their morale's low with AEW. I know I'm not watching it as frequently as I used to. So yeah, man, it doesn't. It is definitely a place where I'm not as tapped in. I can't. When we have responsibilities, you got children. I have a nephew that I take care of. Um, during the week sometimes, and I have other goals and aspirations that I'm working on. And me and we got business we're trying to work on outside of just talking wrestling. If you want to make those goals happen, yeah, sometimes wrestling got to take a back seat, and for our own mental health, we can't put the pressure on ourselves to be like, hey, yo, let's talk about this trash wrestling that happens happening on AEW. Shit. Like, listen, I'm always going to be a fan of wrestling, absolutely, like till I die. I'm a big fan. I'm always going to be a fan, but um, everything is wrestling. Life is wrestling, and sometimes you got to battle with your own lives to get back to your leisure and your hobby, and that is covering this entertainment, this segment of entertainment that we love, and that's what we had to do this week. We had to tackle real life shit. You know how many podcasts will take a whole week or a month off? Me and you are more consistent than most, and we still come here and do it, even though we're we don't take time off just because, but when we do, it's for a reason. But we even here now, we could probably do a whole 2-hour podcast. Still haven't watched a damn lick of wrestling because we know shit. We know enough. So like not here to come and half-ass anything, but we have strong takes about real shit that's going down.
I think with that, I think we can just move into kind of like you say, the the pressure of watching wrestling, quote unquote, because we want to make this our life, kind of takes away from like what our life actually is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, um, where there is a certain amount of influx and integration, right? Like I can, you know, football season is ramping up, right?
Yeah.
Um, me watching Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw is going to be synonymous with each other, right? And
Yeah.
me finding time to watch wrestling is going to be there because hey, we got commercial breaks with the football. You know what I'm saying? Got a free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, right, wrestling finds its way with me and in my life and in my space when it's time to fit in, right? And then those Monday nights or those Thursday nights, you know what I'm saying? It makes it a little bit easier if I am, watching it with the kids and trying to put them down for bedtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think what we can do. A second. Oh shit! I said niggas asleep and I'm making noise. Give me one more. I'm back. Okay, I'm back.
Right.
My laptop's running a little hot, so I had to go cut the fan on.
Okay.
Get the little drink. Okay, so that's why I'm looking a little blurry right now. So give it a moment as it cools itself down. As I was saying though, if the audio is not choppy, I know my video is. What I was saying
Oh,
is
your
that
video's not that bad. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be, but
it's not as bad as it's not as bad as it could be.
yeah, it's not, it's not that bad as you may think. Put that way. Yeah.
So with that being said, I was saying like how wrestling, I believe it can find its space. It can find a space in our life when not necessarily when it's good, because even when it's bad or when it's good, like I think we'll find our time to catch it. But I think we're talking about like just having life experiences, right? Um, we do want to experience life where wrestling, everything is wrestling, and we can pay our bills and everything like that, and go to all the events and everything like that. But we make enough of those moments and those events and those times, and um, can we do more? Absolutely. But I think we use that mentality in the other spaces of our life and in our areas. Okay, can I do more with my time at home? Can I do more with the relationship building that I'm doing with my sister, my nephew, my brothers, my nieces, my mom, my wife, my kids? You know what I'm saying? Like as a guy who takes pride and having the ability to not work and then be with his family, I can't sacrifice that pride and that time to then put into other spaces and places. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if that's how you got to be real with yourself. At the end of the day, we have to be honest with the way our life is set up. the content creation game is not easy. I don't care what you're talking about. It's not easy to be
And that's how
consistent.
wrestlers choose where they work too, right? They
Mhm.
wrestlers choose where they work because of the
Uh-huh.
same mental hurdles of like what
Mhm.
makes my life easier.
There's a lot of people who think that just debate that certain podcasts, for instance, podcasts that are not guest based are way harder because we have to come up with the concepts of the structure. And whereas, you can have a setup, you can have your guests, you can research your guests and ask, roughly the same arc of questions when you have guests come on your show. It's just going to be a different little spin on it depending on who you're talking to. So it's a very tough genre. Then we're doing a niche genre on top of that. So it's a matter of, this is genuinely a hobby
An
for us.
oversaturated niche genre, which is an oxymoron
Mhm.
in itself, right? So then when you like, okay, and again, this is not necessarily ego driven or anything like that. It's like, okay, are my takes being influenced by what I see, what I watch, like what I read, what everything like that? So like, but I don't want to be that person where I'm disengaged and then I'm like disassociated with the network that we created. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
That is also now oxymoronic nature in itself. Like I built this network and find my fucking tribe to then like be myself. So my thoughts are mine. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so it's so then you're like, okay, well, if I'm doing that for wrestling, it's wrestling, right? Like, am I doing this for, like you say, coding? Am I doing this for like my business degree? Am I doing this for like,
Mhm.
again, being a better father? Like, what am I like centering myself and sectioning myself off from being the most, I guess, when we speak of this content creation, it's not almost like you got the guest base, and then you also have the regurgitation, right? Where it's just I heard this, so I'm gonna repeat it, or I saw this, so what do you guys think? Or
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
just a common conversation. And I enjoyed that. Don't get me
I
wrong.
do,
Like I
I
do
do,
enjoy the conversation, but it's like I, I do think that everybody evolves, and including a podcast, including the people's lives and the space of wrestling. If you look online, it's evolved since 3, 4, 5 years ago. Everybody's growing up. Everybody's seeing things a little bit differently. Some people are just so deep in this shit that this is literally the only thing in their life that is their guiding north star. I don't think me and you are that. I
no,
think that we have.
you got some people who will sacrifice not going to see Beyonce on a Friday night to watch Edge's last match, and I'm like, I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Yo, how was Beyonce?
It was fantastic.
Oh wow.
Nah, it was crazy because I'm like, yo, I'm going to miss wrestling, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna watch SmackDown after like within the constructs of today because I know like it's about to wash, right? So I'm like, yo, and to that, right? I get to Beyonce. SmackDown is really one of the most quality progressing like wrestling shows that
Yeah.
that is interesting. So like, it's not that but if this was ever a week to miss, the bloodline's not on, right? Like the bloodline took a week off. So I'm like, yo, Beyonce, you did fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you did this amazing, So
Mhm.
it was good, man. The Renaissance tour was at the Hard Rock Stadium down here in Miami. And it was, I think, close to 50,000 people. And then,
Wow.
dog, man, it was 50,000 shimmies in that moment. And like everybody had the shimmy going on, dog.
Holy shit.
Yo,
Hey.
it was 50,000 glamorous, like honestly, like not even making it people came out glamorous, glorious,
That's
confident,
amazing. That's what's
uh,
up.
uh, uh, like man, it was
They
it.
drew up the Beyonce and them to go see Beyonce.
Bro, speaking of that, my wife, my beautiful wife, I picked out her outfit literally
Awesome.
from hair to
Shout out to Ivy. Yeah, that's what's up.
from hair to little booties, right? And she got so many compliments on it. And I'm like, you ain't thank me not one time you were tipping feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, Chris, the most side now, Chris the stylist.
Bro, you know how people go on stage and be like, I couldn't do it all without my beautiful husband. When people was giving her compliments, I'm right there. And she's like, thank you so much. I'm like, you did this. You did it. You want to wear the other dress. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy out here. Nah, man,
You should just step in front of her like, yeah, you're welcome. Nah, shout out to Ivy, man. That's dope. That's dope.
And I missed the perfect opportunity to wear my fitness watch because, so you know, the concert you got to park, you got to walk, and then clearly you got to walk back to where you park. Well, women, some women, including mine, did not take into accommodation
the shoes. It's a distance, huh?
Bro, it was so many Matt Rillos and Solo Sokoas out there, my nigga. It was crazy.
Take these bitches off. I'm done. I'll carry this shit. Try to be cute with the shoes. Nah, I can't.
It was so many Umangas out there, barefoot warriors, guys. Yo,
that's ill.
Okay. I said, you better not dare. You better not dare. So, mind you, we in a concert. They hurting her in a concert because so let me back up. I am one of those success stories of an upgrade. Thanks again to my wonderful, beautiful wife. We bought tickets. We can get them. You know what I'm saying? We got kids in a mortgage, but we got tickets. No lie, we got 300 level tickets.
Okay.
The view wasn't a bad view, but you wasn't gonna be able to like see your subject. You just had a really good view of the stage, and you just prayed that the camera, which is the best camera, you got your shot. But you had a really great unobstructed view of the stage up at the 300 level.
Okay.
And so Ivy, always on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and niggas was telling them about the game of getting the upgrades and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I shunned it off, and she was like, "Don't reject it. Don't not have me do it. Don't make a face. Don't do nothing. Matter of fact, just sit over there and let me do it." So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fuck up a good night. I'm not gonna be aggravated, agitated. I'm not. She want to do it? Go ahead. Because worst case scenario, we got our tickets anyway. We good.
Go back up. Yeah. How you do it?
She went in there and said, we walked up to our seats, and my husband is a disabled vet, and he cannot do that walk. And they was like, oh, is that him over there? And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't joking. I just came back up from like scouting out where I should was and walked back up. Nigga, I was hurting. I would have worn shoes too, nigga. I was the bad bitch yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, like this ain't no. This is I need an upgrade for sure.
Yeah, this was gender fluid, my nigga.
Nigga, I'm about to take my shoes off, walk this bitch Umaga style.
Mind you, I ain't wear those socks. I had the loafers with no socks. I would have been a hood rat.
Bottom of your foot black as shit.
Oh man. So we ended up getting the equivalent to the 50-yard line, cuz.
Oh shit, okay.
100 level, row 2, 50-yard line right above the floor seating of the stage.
That's awesome.
So it was a wonderful night. She stood on her feet all damn night, and in her seat, I'm like, you can watch the show sitting down if you would like, but it was Renaissance, it was dance, everybody. And I told her to enjoy herself, you know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Her feet was hurting. And I looked down And she had her shoes off, and I said, I know you ain't got your feet on no stadium floor now. Like, I know. And she was like, no, I put the napkins down. I said, okay. 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 Now, this is when my night started getting a little annoying and shit. So as she put the napkins down, niggas kept walking by and not really paying attention to her napkins being on the floor. They're like kicking it,
Kicking it out, they're flying over.
So then I had to keep having to get up and go get napkins, brother. Oh man, you know I sweat a lot, nigga. Okay. So shit. So the show is good. After the show, again, aforementioned shoes is preventing her from like making progression to the like, you know. Also, we took the wrong way out. So whatever stamina she had to walk, we lost it going the wrong way. Okay. So once we got back to a stationary place, my duty had to then walk to the car, grab her flip-flops.
Oh, come back
to her, and then walk back to that car.
You a good man. That's sweet, man. That's awesome. Was it just you two?
Just us, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome, man. That's good.
It was nice. Again, so it took that a Friday night that we rarely have without the kids.
Yeah.
And her mom.
That shit is great. That shit's revitalizing. You know, like I'm glad that you got to experience that. And honestly, it's Beyonce. Come on, like, and you got upgraded. That's like a night to remember, you know, for real.
So it was a dope.
Let me upgrade you,
nigga.
Bam, 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 bam. Listen, Jay didn't pull up.
Nah, but we saw Blue though.
Oh, okay, she danced.
Saw Blue live. That was epic. That was epic because I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't never been excited to see an 11-year-old ever. And let me go ahead and be on the record. You know what I'm saying?
No, man. Listen, you know she's royalty.
No. So you know, ain't no roof in there. You know what I mean? They had the roof. So if it was, they would have blew the shit off. Like literally. When Blue came up from the joint and had a little army fatigue on, and you know what I'm saying? Because from what I understand, she don't go to every show, but she's been going to a lot of the shows, and she was just in Tampa. So a lot of people was hoping that she had made that trip, but even if she made a trip, it might have just been a rest day. You know what I'm saying? You know? Miami, a lot of people live in Miami, like, you know, we home, you know, you just chill, you know what I'm saying? But she came out and did her little dance joint, and then they had a ball show right in the middle of towards the end of the show, but in the middle of the show. So, you know, Florida is a big, you know, DeSantis is killing the game out here. You know what I'm saying? For our Rainbow Coalition people who holding it down in the LGBTQ plus. I'm missing a letter there. LGBTQIA plus community. So she ended up instrumenting what she does in all her shows though, but in Miami no less is a big, you know, big gay community, big trans community. So the girls was out, as they say. You know what I'm saying? And I think Blue had the biggest ovation until the ball show. And then when the
ball show is a drag or something?
Yeah, but it was just it wasn't so much of drag, but they were doing the dance. They were doing it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. I was popping. It was a wrestling game.
The ball show got the biggest pop, then Blue.
Nigga, it was like 630s, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas was doing 450.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was lit.
What's up?
It was lit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a good show. We didn't get back to the crib. We didn't get back to the crib till like 4:30. You know what I'm saying? We was just out because we was like, what you want to do? We want to go out. So she ended up hitting the bar with me one time now. You know what I'm saying? My ass trying to be alert. Like, can I steal? Can I get out with this check one time now, bro? Nigga, this $50 for gas.
Some things never change. Yeah, you funny as hell.
She trying to hug up on me and love up on me. I'm like, baby, I'm trying to be alert right now. You trying to distract the nigga.
Yo, man, that's awesome, man. That's good. That's a beautiful thing, man. Like going out, which is see Beyonce, one of the best acts of all time.
Yeah.
With your lady, getting time away from the kids, and going out, and then afterward going to the bar, and it's just you two. You need that, man, and I'm so happy for you guys because you need that, and I'm sure she's extremely happy. And all the work you put in to drive down there and all that stuff and organize it, it's all worth it.
Yeah, it was a pretty adrenaline inducing day yesterday, and like you say, that's where we talk about being grown and the sacrifice. Because again, like if this was my life, I'm not gonna hold you. We recorded on our anniversary this year, right?
Yeah.
Revolution was our anniversary. And I was like, babe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we went to Key West and we went to dinner, we stayed at night and everything like that. And I was like, babe, can I get the day to watch wrestling and record? You know what I'm saying? And that took away from the feel of the day. You know what I'm saying? That kind of like stuck with me for a bit because I was trying to make two commitments at the same time. And we try to figure out to do it as men, or we try to do it as people, not just as men, because women do it all the time, trying to make commitments to two places, two people, two things, or whatever the case may be. And it's really difficult, and you end up shortchanging
both.
Yeah,
essentially.
You shortchange them both. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm learning that it's a hard thing to learn. When you gotta like make a hard choice and say, this something is really important, but this is also very important, and I gotta put one of them completely off for a little bit and be present for one. Like, you were just talking about the coding thing and how I couldn't get to do it this week because of family obligations, and but I had to approach from a mindset of, you ain't doing it, man. You ain't coding at all, bro.
Yeah, at
all. You cannot focus on two things at once. You got to focus on one thing at a time, and then when it's time is right, you'll come back and get around to it. That's why I always say on the podcast, listen, family comes first, and as we try to build our company and do things, we have our big, ideas that we want to do in the future. It's all about building an ecosystem where people can, and us, we can put our family first because we're two family men. We're just in our DNA, we're not going to be selfish.
And that's where I draw, which is crazy. That's where I draw a lot of my inspirations from Dan Le Batard a lot. We talk about. Yeah. So, Dan brother passed. I believe
you talking about
right.
That.
The memorial service was today, right? I'm in Miami. I make it down there, but like that's me still also being like selfish in a way, like rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, or chill or relax or do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say you don't want to spend time with your family or, babe, I'm tired, I don't want to go to a jumping park with the kids, and then say you want to drive down to the Le Batard. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but even with that, Le Batard built a company where he wanted a company based on love, right? Where it's unlimited time off or PTO, whatever the case may be, and it's grown within a network of people that is trustworthy to Dan and everything like that. And again, it's not a company where you have to ask if you can take time off to be with your pregnant wife like I had to do at a previous job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's and like you say, when I do my own thing, I want it to be like this, and you also realize when you do your own thing, everything is content. Dan broke his brother passing on the air, right? And like everything just can't be that, right? Everything just needs a beat sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
Dan built the company, it was like, I can't take time off. This is if I'm not here representing the Dan Le Batard show as Dan Le Batard, then it ceases not to be the Dan Le Batard show, right?
And that's
And
a
it,
lot of pressure too, though. Like,
yeah,
I look at it from the point of like when you are the head of the table, and so to speak, heavy's a crown that heavy's the head that wears the crown. And when you have those moments where you should be grieving and you have to go into work and handle it because you know that if you don't do that, other people don't eat. That's, I mean, I salute him. Rest in peace to his brother, as well as I respect that. However, at the same time, I don't believe that's for everybody. I think that certain people need that moment to take away, and knowing who you are is knowing, hey, I need this time to step away from this obligation, even if it does take a backseat and people don't get a show where we talk in sports for a week to go mourn properly and come back fresh and be my better self. Some people need that. Some people look at their work as therapy, like you were saying, and it can be a way of to commiserate and bring your boys around. You guys, you feel better because you feel like, all right, man, it's helping me get through it.
which is
But
what we try to find a balance with between us, right? Like our week, our days, our shit be so stressful. Wrestling just brings two strangers, us, to be best friends and to
mhm,
build company and everything like that. So we don't want that not to be a part of our identity ever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's very
yeah,
difficult to strip away from like life is not taking this away. Like it's wrestling, dude. Like you telling me I can't talk. You telling me I can't watch wrestling and I can't just bullshit and smoke weed and talk about wrestling. Like life can't be that consuming
mhm.
that that can't happen, and it happens. And then you be like, damn, cuz I gotta send a message to my bro, like, no pod today. And you're like, damn, nigga, this is a week I've been waiting to pod because I had a shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been like it's you know what I'm saying? So your decision making is always in flex. And I like
Yeah.
it comes to being a good dude, and it comes from again caring about what you're doing, caring about the people you're doing it with. And um again, back to the thing, wrestling is super oversaturated and niche that if we do decide to take a quality control week, or if we take a week to be like, yo, I'm going to drop my nephew off to college to watch his first football game, as it, like whatever, or I'm going because me and you don't take shows off unless it's family. Christopher's
Really.
birthday,
Yeah.
Christopher's birth. You know what I'm saying? Like I just told you, I recorded on my anniversary. Like we
Yeah.
really take date shows weeks off because we pride ourselves on like, yo, it's something that we can do weekly. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be something that we can't do weekly. Like it's something we can do weekly. And then certain times we learn that, man, doing this shit weekly is like, again, another obligation, right? And when we
And I
talk,
don't want to look at it like that.
right,
There's 168 hours in a week. You can take 2 of those hours in pod and talk to your bro. But at the same time, I want to approach it from a standpoint of I don't have to do this. I can do it because I want to. Like what I like to think about things with just let's say I'm very big into manifestation and creating your reality. When it comes to whatever you want to do and making something successful, you really got to embody it. Like the podcast is not separate from me. I am this podcast. So essentially, when I arrive and we're potting. It's not like it's going to like, oh, the podcast suffers because I'm not able to be there for 4 hours, a week. I don't know, whatever. I feel like when it's time to go and I can embody the next stage and the next evolution of the podcast, I will, and that attention and embodying what the goal is and saying this is who I am and walking through like that, it brings a certain type of naturalness, I guess you can say. When you're walking as if I always say, trying is one of the biggest lies in life. You got to do it. It's like when you're saying I'm doing and I am are so much more powerful mindset and way you look at things than I'm trying to do something.
exactly.
So I don't want to try to come here and pot. I want to always come here like, yeah, I am potting. I'm ready to go. and be attentive and present, but if that takes us on a beaten path and we're talking about whatever, it does, that's life, man. And embodying this platform to speak our truths, because like we say, everything is wrestling is not just a quote. It's something that we really struggle with. And I want to make sometimes this thing be a little bit more smoother. And there's certain wrestlers that when you wrestle, you see that them they, it could be a little botchy, a little bit sketchy, but I want to be a Seth Rollins of this shit. When I come here, I want to be fluid and sharp when I come here. And that's my goal when I do anything, is to get to a point of when I'm so good at this thing that
And
I
he
can
has
do
and
it.
he has a balance between that obsession and family, right?
And
Because
family, exactly.
he's also a newlywed and or get
Hmm.
well a year within his marriage, I believe in.
Yeah, and when he's home, I'm sure
You know,
he's daddy and he's husband. He's not Seth freaking Rollins. He's locked in on that, And then when he's back in, he puts on his fucking big ass robe, big ass jacket, whatever it is that week, that title belt, looking good, sharp. Puts on his gear, it clicks on, and he's now Seth freaking Rollins again. And that's why I think how people need to approach the things that they want to be and do, is to just like when the time is right, click on that. I'm sure Beyonce is not always Beyonce.
Yo, you know what's
You
crazy?
know,
I was about to make a segue between Beyonce to close the loop on that when you was talking about trying and being, because Beyonce, right? Me and Ivy after the concert, we were walking back and we was talking about how Blue isn't trying, right? She's just is whatever that is at the moment. She is, and like comparing the wrestling and entertainment performers, bro, that's a lot. We like, yo, Beyonce, you got 10-inch, 8-inch heels walking down steps, dancing. Blue, you 11 years old. Like, you aren't trying to do this. You are embodying and when you say you are, we don't know if Blue wants to be a performer for the rest of her life, but we know
but
right now
she
she
is.
is.
Yeah,
Like, she ain't trying to be. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, she is a performer right now.
yeah.
And like you said, when we want to be diverse in the nature and how we want to be and have these different tentacles and don't want to be such tunnel vision on one thing for success to open these other things up and miss certain things. Like, I think it's a famous quote. Um, uh, um, is it Andy Reid, I believe, or something like that. One of the football coaches, like, if you miss a dance recital or a football game, I'll fire you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you sleeping in the office for? You know what I'm saying? And I
Hmm.
think bringing that approach to how we do things, and like you said, what Beyonce does with, like, I ain't sleeping in no motherfucking studio. You know what I'm saying? I do my dance. I got my 4 hours. I go hard. I train. I eat correctly. But when I'm off, I'm off. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
When we're off with wrestling, we're off, but we're never off because we're on. Because
Hmm.
we are just who we are in this, right?
Yeah, exactly. We can do this thing with our eyes closed, literally, by not watching a damn bit of wrestling, because our eyes are not on the TV. We can come here and we could, because we're so tapped into it. We understand that we are wrestling. We are supreme wrestling fans, but wrestling is life and life is wrestling. Right? Everything is wrestling. So when you go to that Beyonce show and you take time with your family, you can be present in that, and enjoy that and sleep into those moments, because you'll be back here and you'll be just as good. We didn't put all that time and work into this to just be asked, and we're not. We're really good at what we do. So take that time and don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel guilty about. And that's the thing. We beat ourselves up when we want to be
We we
supreme.
we do, man. And
Yeah,
again, it's wrestling too, right?
yeah,
Like Supreme, like if we was content creation, like we said we wanted to do about business, right? Stock market or cannabis laws or the laws of our state, and we're like, damn, we ain't update our fucking people about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we ain't giving them no news. But again, like, what is original that we're to, like, what we had in our WhatsApp message? What's in our WhatsApp message on the docket that we can spit out? And has it been influenced by anything we've seen online? Because I would like to agree. Look, our business and logic is something that I found online, right? When we talked about Tony Khan receiving 100 grand for the match, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match, and you ask, does any amount of money, kind of equate to,
Yeah.
you know,
When it comes to sponsorship, I was asking, like, because I think this is a conversation that I'm not sure people are having or not. It just dawned on me. But when you take money for sponsorship and say, all right, we're going to dedicate these minutes of our show weekly, and you're all going to do a match to promote this movie or this fucking soda like we did with Bray Wyatt and Mountain Dew, is it juice worth the squeeze? For the business side of things, 100%. Money is money. But for the art side of things, obviously we've had two matches this year that have completely been lauded as two of the worst matches of the year because of the promotion behind it, and it didn't flow with the story at all, the storyline of the show. It's not just me. I'm just seeing a pattern, you know, that I do believe that.
you're seeing a pattern that money influenced the art. Oh
Yeah,
yes, of course. Like
of course,
where have
So
we lived, Patrick Starr under you know
listen,
what I'm saying?
I figured, like, why not just bring it up? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna keep doing it. Like, money's gonna come in, but it's like, man, you wasted all those fans' time in that arena and people watching back at home for this ass show. And here's the thing: I just think there's better ways you can do it. Let's put it this way: I don't think that you shouldn't do it at all. I think that there's better ways to promote something in sponsorship in conjunction with a wrestling event that don't hinder the actual match.
Well, I would say this first and foremost. I do not know what Texas Chainsaw Massacre was about. I did not know Fallen Fight for the Fallen was this week. Had no idea. And I did not know that they were donating money to Maui. All of this seemed to just happen while Tony was taking his morning shit. It was like, oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying? And he just sent out like a mass email. So, and this is, again, not to shit on Tony or anything like that. I think flying by the seat of their pants, again, is something that we're talking about. We do, right? So, again, we're not shitting on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very successful model.
When you embody what you do, you're actually in it. You got to pivot, you got to make certain directions changes and all that shit, and then on the fly. So I'm not hating on Tony either, but I think that it's not the way you go about it is bad. Like, why are we watching Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy in 2023 in this match? Like, it's just, to me, like, you could do this so much better and get over a real young
star. I really think Swerve, Nick Wayne, Darby Allin, AR Fox would have benefited from this being a part of, especially with the blood and gory, what they was just doing.
Yeah,
I think that set up All In a lot better. I would have, like you said, there's certain things that could have been doing better, but with that, even with that though, the idea of accepting the money isn't the bad thing though, right? So I don't want to. So I would say that inherently, no, right? To answer your initial question, inherently accepting the money for sponsorship for a match, even if it doesn't go with the flow, necessarily doesn't, like, okay, for instance, right? Just for instance, and I know this might not make a lot of sense, but this is just me freestyling again. The NFL doesn't sell Pepsi to its players, right? They drink Gatorade, whatever, you know what I'm saying, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, their biggest advertiser that they sell within the stadium is beer. But when it's time for a halftime show, guess who's forking up the money, and guess who big ass logo gonna be in that bitch? Pepsi. When
I mean, Pepsi again. Wait a minute, time out. They do give a Pepsi product to their players, and that's Gatorade.
Well, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they do give you a massacre with wrestling every week. You're watching AEW. I mean, like, come on.
No, wait. I wasn't even comparing the two. I was just saying that they don't. You said they don't give Pepsi to their players.
Well, I was saying in the aspect of, like, because you was like, no damn zombies or no soda or blackout match or a Texas Chainsaw match. Like, there's no.
I didn't say no anything. I didn't say no anything. I'm just saying I was just posing the question.
I just know my brother. I just know my brother.
No, you don't, because all I did was pose the question. Because
You
you don't know what side I was on. Honestly, I was just like, it was a bad match. It's really, it's a bad match. Both of them. Actually,
just like the Pitch Black match was a bad match, you thought, and just like
the Pitch Black match, I didn't think it was that bad. I think the people killed it a lot more than it was because, but I realized there was a pattern in sponsorship and bad matches, Miz and Damian Priest. I'm just looking at it like, okay, guys, like it's clearly some issue here, but I think that they should notice it and not say, oh, we can't take money for a show and tarnish the art. I'm saying that find a better way to do this. I'm sure there have been better ways that this has been accomplished. I know that the Young Bucks did a Crackle Barrel match like a couple of years ago, and they had barrels around the ring, and it actually turned out pretty decent. But you got to get the right people in the match and the right way to
was it
promote.
Decent? Did it have country style ham and some fried eggs? That's the Crackle Barrel. I know.
No, they were putting people through barrels, like literally.
See that ain't a thing for me. I need some cast iron skillets. I need some smothered covered chicken steak.
Well, you want to smack somebody in the face with a hand? What the fuck are you looking for?
Yeah, that is on brand for me. Okay, what you talking about? Nigga, I dare you to have a Waffle House sponsored match and you have a match in a house, not of a Waffle House. I dare you.
I mean, that would be crazy. A Waffle House style match, yeah, man.
Nah, honestly, see us freestyling. Somebody should have really bad blood, right? Really bad blood. You're like, you know what? This match got to take place at a Waffle House where street fights happen, nigga, and they just in the Waffle House, my nigga. I'll be down.
I mean, if they were just doing, see, my mind goes to the creativity of it. If it's at a Waffle House, I don't want it to be, hey guys, so we're doing this Waffle House match. Tune in next week. No, I want the guy that could be cutting a promo in a Waffle House. The nigga just runs up on him and whoops that ass. That's how I want it. Like that's how. Give it to me that way.
Eating a patty melt hash brown. I'm like, you know what? When I see that motherfucker, I'm gonna beat his ass. And then the door opens, and he's like. Camera pan over
exactly. I want the whole drama of it, like it reminded me of Stone Cold Booker T, dog, and it worked, I'm just saying, like how you approach these matches can be 100 times better than what they actually do. Rather than give me the bag, let's just throw Jeff Jarrett out there. What?
I ain't gonna hold you. Listen, if we gonna ruin and tarnish anybody's reputation, it can't be Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy. That's the reason why you do it. Them has been through the fire. Okay, they like cockroaches, brother. You cannot kill them, bro. You can put them in anything, and the internet is gonna protect them two brothers. Okay.
Oh my god, I can't stand both of them. Like honestly, I like Jeff as a person, but God, I do not want to see them wrestle. And it's like those two guys, Hardy's, Jeff Jarrett, wrestling is like they need that shit to breathe. Like they cannot not do it.
It's the Hardys, Jeff Jarrett. You can put CM Punk in that box too. And Jericho. I don't want to see none
Jericho.
Of that's a top 5 for me of people I don't want to see wrestle again.
Hang it up.
The Hardys, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Jeff Jarrett. I don't ever want to see you lace up a pair of boots again, brother. Ever.
Speaking of CM Punk, he's facing Samoa Joe at All In. If you want, you can pull up the card.
Worst. This has got to be the worst card build up like ever.
Yo, I'm so mad. I'm so mad, dog. Like I want to support a different company, and but WWE's been smoking y'all for like 2 years, on storytelling, and you guys need to step it up hard body. I did not think that MJF and Adam Cole, two of my favorite wrestlers, could be in such a poorly written storyline. You cannot hit me with the lowbrow double clothesline bullshit that these AEW marks fall for. I get the humor behind it. Last week I went in on it because I said it was weird. I didn't mean it from like some homophobic standpoint. I mean, it's just genuinely weird. A heavyweight championship angle being presented this way, you know? And if there is no twist, I'm gonna be furious because you guys are wasting the potential of these two guys. I do believe that if these two men were in NXT for the NXT championship, people would be tuning in to NXT and it will be a must see match. And the fact that they are in Wembley Stadium, going to have two matches, and you're making me not give a fuck about any one of them is sad to me. I don't care if they hit FTR with a double clothesline. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn about your world championship because you made it out to be a joke. And that's a problem I'm having with AEW and their storytelling capabilities. Everything cannot be a joke. Everything can't be a joke. You can have some joke angles, but everything cannot be a joke. This is a combat atmosphere. And you guys have had great storytellings in the past.
Here you go.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. They've had storytelling in the past that has worked for me. This run and stretch has been brutal to the point where I had 2 weeks in a row. I was like, I can't watch this shit.
But that goes back to again why there isn't a sacrifice to watch, right? Like why is there a reason that we aren't doing what there is other things to be done when like it isn't necessarily it as the women would say, it's not given. You know what I'm saying? It's not giving what it needs to give. You know what I mean? Like
not giving.
It's not giving.
Giving what it needs to
give. You know?
It's giving fucking weirdos, giving fucking jokes, clown. You know, that's what it is. Corny. That's what it is. It's giving corny. AEW, when I watch, I'm like, this is kind of corny.
We've been calling it that. Well, I've been calling it.
I know that AEW has corny moments. Don't get me wrong. I've never been outside of like recognizing that, but it was not every segment, bro. It wasn't that way. You know, you have a segment with Chris Jericho and Don. I'm like, what are you thinking? Why do I give a fuck about this shit? Why?
Listen,
why is Chris Jericho one of your major stars still, where he is the major centerpiece of the storyline when you have 5 other niggas in the group with him that you fucking threw under the bus? This is insane. This is the second time you're doing this with Chris Jericho.
Hold on.
He has a group of guys that he just buried.
Not the second time. They've been doing this with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has been an anchor to the company for the inception.
They should have used absolutely, but they should have used him. By now, we're in year 3.
No, 5.
5. God damn. Chris Jericho should not be the centerpiece of the main angle in year 5. I think he can be around, but he can't be the main guy we're tuning in to see what he's gonna do. No, it should be what Sammy gonna do. What is Garcia gonna do? You know, you try with where is the freaking Pride and Powerful? You guys fucking split the team up. They didn't even like each other in real life. They fucking left. One of them left, like because of the fucking corny shit you're doing. You could even get over that tag team. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy. Why is Chris Jericho still a man? Like I get it. He's Chris Jericho, but he's old as shit.
Well, he's not the man. He's just taking up. He's just again like
taking up a lot of time. But then you get on the same show, you're getting Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett taking up mad time, and then the ones that the people who are coming to see are in this weird ass storyline where I'm like, what? It's just.
I'm gonna tell you right now, AEW ain't got nobody on there to see. Jade's not on TV. They don't. They just started putting Swerve on TV, and even with that, I can catch that on YouTube. Like Chris Statlander just came back, but there's no story being told with her. Athena's on ROH, Samoa Joe's on ROH, Ricky Starks, right? So they don't have anybody. You feel me? Like when you want to go off the Chris Jericho. I don't care about Chris. I don't even care to talk about. We've done this when
No,
we,
we have. You're right.
but,
I'm
but
just
not
being
even, but not even with that though. Like we talking about the All In card and like why is Will Ospreay wrestling Chris Jericho? You know what I'm saying? Like why is Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and Ibushi wrestling uh, 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 Taneske, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. Like that is so random right now. You know what I'm saying? It's so random. FTR Young Bucks just like on Collision, a show that nobody watches on the Saturday night because we're recording a podcast, so we don't sacrifice Collision for the pod. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, we wanna who's the best tag team? Top guys out. Well, you guys are clearly like you know what I'm saying. Like why are you challenging Young Bucks? Young Bucks should have been trying to figure out. It's just all of the storytelling has been um,
lazy.
I think the best storytelling honestly has been like Blackpool Combat Club and Orange Cassidy.
Yo, give me Hangman Page again. Where he been at? Like, give me some more cowboy stories or something, man.
Well, hey, Adam Page is again wrestling in the tag team with Kenny Omega again with Kenny Omega's best friend and life friend partner Kota Ibushi. That's what Adam Page is doing. He's being
A buddy again. Like he's been the entire way, and then everybody's
I ain't,
buddies.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Everybody got buddies on
Hold on.
AEW.
I ain't gonna hold you. We talked about some homoerotic stuff, possibly, in the past, but Hangman being the third man, my guy, pretty stout, pretty stout, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's a good tag in partner if I ever get tired. You feel me?
What are you talking about?
Bro, it's midnight, cause we never know.
All right, I'm gonna put my blinker on. I'm moving to the next lane. Listen, bro, I gotta. What's going on with the woman?
Yo,
Okay.
Again, we going from a menage a trois to a four-way. Well, we got Saraya, Britt Baker, Tony Storm, and the champion, Hikaru Shida,
Okay.
in a four-way.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, man, AEW don't know what to do. We talk about WWE. Them gonna do a multi-woman match. I can tell you that.
And what's funny is like you got all in. I mean, all in, and then like all out, like right around the corner. And I have no idea what they're gonna do.
They ain't
I
building,
really,
they ain't building not a story. Not a story. They just jumbling all together. They making gumbo what it is. A wrestling show gumbo.
that's what it feels like, and it's just sad, man, because we've been locked in before with them. We've bought pay per views, we bought, Forbidden Door, all types of shit, and I saw you have Daniel Bryan and MJF. I love that story. Me personally, I love the match they had. You had Hangman and John Moxley earlier this year, locked in for that. That was great, bro. Like it didn't have to take this turn where it's just like shit. All right. Anyways, but I'm gonna move on to NXT. Like I was just saying a second ago, a lot of these guys should be in NXT. They should have moved, and I pray that some of these guys leave AEW while they can. Once their contract is up, get the fuck out of there.
Really?
NXT though, absolutely. I think there's too much talent in AEW that is being misused. Honestly, in my opinion. I mean, I get it. They got their thing there. Schedule is a little bit different. It's nice for them. If they like that schedule, cool. Do what's best for you in your life. Like we're gonna do what's best for our life when it comes to talking about wrestling. If you want to do that for your career, go for it. But if you want to see what you can do like as a talent, I know you're not a big fan of Sammy Guevara, but he's extremely talented. I think in AEW, NXT or something like that, he would be a different character, and he would be way more represented. MJF is one of them. Ricky Starks, a lot of people I think should be in NXT. When we talk about NXT, We have guys like our boy Wesley, who from way back when he was part of MSK, you know, we saw what he could do. We saw who he was, and I'm telling you right now, Wesley in AEW would not be who Wesley is right now because they would put him in some kind of group, and he would have got lost, and just like they do with all their young talent. You know, right now, Wesley is one of the strongest single acts in the world, in my opinion. And I love to see what he has turned himself into in NXT with the tutelage of Shawn Michaels and all the trainers they have there, giving him the North American Championship, harnessing that, making him one of the strongest champions, and then slowly but surely transitioning him into the main event. Now he got, you know, Carmelo versus Wesley for an NXT championship, which I've told him years ago, you are an NXT champion, bro. This is when he was in a tag team. I told him to his face, dude, you can fight anybody because of the way you wrestle. People are going to believe in you. The tenacity, how you wrestle is going to go a long way because it's not about your size or whatever. It's the manner in which you wrestle that's going to take you over the top. It's like I always say with I always relate to comic books, like with Wolverine. Wolverine's a really short, stout part of the X-Men. He's like 5'5" or something, but he has a tenacity that he can kill anybody. Obviously, his powers, claws, adamantium, but the ferocity that he fights, you feel like he can take down the Hulk, and that's what I see with Wesley. And now we're seeing a little bit of a aggression coming out of him now, which I'm loving to see. Like that promo he had with Carmelo on NXT this week.
Yep.
Great shit. And I'm seeing him evolve on the microphone, get opportunities on the microphone, and a little bit changes to his character and talk his shit and really connect with the crowd in that manner, which I see like he's going to have a bright future on the main roster too. But this is an opportunity that I saw years ago. And if he pulls it off, I'm going to be super proud of our guy.
I think first and foremost, our brother Des West, real name. Everybody can Google it, but we won't be looking at this over here. You know what I'm saying? I think first and foremost, the maturation of the character and the person. I think the person supersedes the character, right? A little inside information. It could have been a different route, right? As far as even his journey with Under the Umbrella in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Like he was projecting himself, so he didn't know he was on the radar. You know what I'm saying? So he was going to try to make his way around the circus, the different places and various places that's available to do so. And he had a aspiration for himself that I'm gonna make them want me type thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm gonna make them want me, and I'm like, dude, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's pretty clear that they want him, right?
Yeah.
Like that isn't a necessarily a topic of discussion. I think realistically now is he ready to receive what's about to be presented to him, right? Again, we talk about what we think we want all the time.
Yeah.
And we never know until we are there. Right.
And that kind of speaks to what Carmelo was saying in the promo too. Like pretty much you don't know the weight of the championship, which is why I like the story being told with these two guys this entire time,
And to be quite honest, right? Like to be quite honest, Wes is already whatever that is again, not trying to talk too much out of turn, you know what I'm saying? But he's considered to be a veteran presence there, right? Like the very, again, NXT is very young. It's a very youth driven situation down there. So to have someone of his ilk, right, who can perform, who looks the way he is, who um, carries himself the way, like clearly not too serious, but enjoys what he does, doesn't mind putting in the extra work, and is very much responsible to accept that, right? Because a lot of us rely on our job applications. No lie, right? Like, well, are we capable of this? Yeah, I know how to do shit in Excel. I still don't. Still don't. When they asked Wes, can you do these circuits, right? As the North American champion, as again, the champion, can you sell out these dates? Can you be the first one in, last one out? Can you be a person that someone leans on and asks a question, and you being receptive and receiving it? And, again, Melo ain't no slouch, right? You saw the documentary. He's in the ring getting Edge ready, getting MVP ready. Logan Paul, like these guys are very much right on the same trajectory.
It kind of looked like a parallel of like sorts, like looking in the mirror when they were doing their promo, and like when they look at Into the Spider-Verse, different versions of yourself and what could be. And I think they're both extremely talented guys who took, and one was given, or so quote unquote given, the check mark of you're the breakout star coming, and one of them had to work it from the tag team to then losing the tag team and becoming a single star.
I would say this on some Gito, right? On some real Gito. Without MSK running into what they ran into, we was there in Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. Melo and MSK,
yeah,
right? Like that was that they were both there.
But even then, though, like you gotta understand, MSK wasn't MSK until like a year in, or like, or it took a minute for it to catch on. People weren't they booing him like at one point?
Yeah, NXT.
Yeah. So like I'm saying, like, but with Carmelo,
Melo,
literally from the beginning, it was a check mark.
Challenge Adam Cole for a championship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from start, they saw him as a future, check mark guy. Like he's one of the guys that we're gonna put our money behind like a stock, and he worked his way out from MSK. Year, boom, wins a championship at the first time it was not Dallas, it was in Tampa, right?
Who the West or Carmelo?
No, West, the tag team championship. So, well, they win their tag team championship, West, and
I think it was in Tampa.
But they won two reigns. The second one was they won it again in Dallas. And they were feeling like they finally arrived again. And then obviously the scandals happened. Zach leaves, and he's on his own. Like you could easily, people can easily not come back from that because you just were on the high and then boom, like now you're on yourself. He found a way, and I'm saying that grind of grind his way to the main event on NXT. Honestly, I can't wait for the match. I'm really looking forward. That's probably the one match this week coming up that I'm most excited for.
They have unbelievable chemistry for the simple fact that Casanova and Desmond, right? Those are where they made their names at, right? Christian Casanova and Desmond Xavier. Right? Uh-huh. This is not the first time they've crossed. Paths, right? And again, they are anticipating it being what we know what it is, right? The two highly competitive, decorated, champions for the highest prize of that promotion. Again, this is Wesley's first opportunity at that championship, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
NXT Heat
yeah,
Wave this week.
and he can potentially be a triple crown winner.
I think he will. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but I think that he has definitely the steam in NXT to take that mantle. And it all depends on where does Carmelo go after he drops the belt. If he's trying to drop the belt right now and do an angle with West right now for the next takeover, or I'm not sure they don't takeovers anymore, but the next, live event that they're going to be doing, I would love to see West take the title and see where it goes from there, whether it be a heel turn or whatever that may be. And then maybe down the line, West has his own little, I don't know, faction, and Carmelo can move on to the main roster. By WrestleMania, I think Carmelo should be on the main roster, in some capacity.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? This Heat Wave is just a normal NXT show. I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think West will win the title there. I think he does have to win it at a live event.
Okay.
I don't think he wins it this Wednesday. I think he has to wait. I think he loses via distraction, or he gets fed up and he gets frustrated. We see a little bit more of it snapping there, because I don't think they can lose the baby face that he is. But
Yeah.
again, NXT's, they dastardly, man. They'll turn the motherfucker.
You never know, but I'm glad he's getting the range, like to now, without the championship, explore that levels to his character and like what is doing to him, like and the frustration of losing it, and now and all that stuff. So that's what I'm excited for, to see where he goes from here. It's exciting for him. Like it's huge, his elevation and what he's gone through to get there. I'm extremely excited for this match, regardless of how it turns out.
Absolutely. What was also the thing as you wanted to rap on about?
Well, Edge, we talked to retirement a little bit. I'm not sure if this is he said that was his last match with Sheamus, and his contract ends in September. So we don't know what's going to happen. He said he doesn't know what he's going to do. I do not think this will be his last match of all time, but I do think that he is at the point where he knows that, yeah, he might get like a 2-match contract after this or something, or come back at WrestleMania or something, do an angle. But I think this is the end of Edge's career, man, and it's sad to see. But I'm glad that he went out his way.
I think that's the first and foremost. I won't even say it's sad. I think what
Okay.
I watched it. I ended up, like, I texted you, I'm like, I'm trying to fucking watch SmackDown, man. I ended up shedding like a little thug tear as Cole calls the final 1, 2, 3, and you just, me, not WWE, not me, my flashback mind remembers the gold flowing locks, the purple tights, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, damn, you can see the cheekbones, right, of his face. You can see the
It's
gray.
like crazy, man, like how time flies. Like I feel like just yesterday I was watching him in the Brood with Gangrel and Christian. Like I really remember when he debuted with them, and like how that
or him, and not even a debut, bro. I remember 5-second poses. Like I'm like, yo, like my man is like a genius.
Yeah, man.
No, it was truly the end of an era for him to do it on SmackDown, right? He's a SmackDown guy. Eddie, Ray, Undertaker, you know what I'm saying, Chavo, Chris Benoit, the headless horseman, as I like to call him, like that was Kurt Angle, can't forget about that guy, Booker T, right? John Cena, right? Like he made SmackDown on UPN or wherever it was at. He made it that, right? That like he was Also, you want to talk about a guy that grinded from where, right? They saw something in him. Really good kid, had a really good story, loved wrestling. But when he went from tag team and they broke that tag team up, right? And then he went to the Intercontinental. And this is me all freestyling riffing, right?
Yeah,
And title reign, King of the Ring reign. You know what I'm saying? Like they were positioning him like, hey, he's gonna be around for a while, right? Right. And every time like we listen, like even Miz says it about LA Knight, right? A flash in the pan. LA Knight can't be here for 20 years, right? At least not wrestling. You feel me? Like he might be able to Bobby Heenan it, you know what I'm saying? But even then, 20 years from now, we not going if he's as good as Bobby Heenan, we're not gonna remember LA Knight as the performer because he'll be so good as a talker, right? Edge is he's never been elite at anything, right? And that's no disrespect, but his longevity was elite.
I think that he's a hard worker,
Yeah,
man.
no, not even just a hard worker, bro. Like that, because everybody in that, like he's
I think that's what he's elite at, though. I think he's an elite hard worker who is a student of the game. Like he really loves this shit. You know, he really grew up saying this is all I ever wanted to be, and stuck to it. Saw the vision way when before he was young and stuck to that vision and became it. And even when it was hard, when he first got debuted and it wasn't going so well, pivot this way, pivot that way, changing over time, different characters, different types of, you know, versions of Edge. He's been so true, and people have followed him along the way, and you know he got a reaction consistently.
bro.
So
My nigga had an epic cash in, a live sex scene on Raw, and then changed his name to Rated R Superstar, and that was his gimmick for like ever. And like we never like we just say the Rated R Super. Why was it Rated R? Cause you know what I'm saying? Edge was a whole baby face called a Rated R Superstar. You know what I'm saying? And also his wife Trill. Everybody got a pass. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even be tripping because you had sex on live TV, dog. And I'm still I'll still pull up and
okay.
put Rhea down for messing with my man. You know what I'm saying? I guess
But I'm getting that. What I'm getting is when he came in as just a generic, you know, baby face, goes to be a vampire, then he goes to this like comedy act with his tag team brother, and then he's a single act, starts getting booed. He takes fuck it, I'm gonna turn heel. Now he has this like quote unquote fire and edge on him, and then he takes it to the next level and wins the Money in the Bank, and that's when he kind of finally put it all together and became a main event act and rode that shit to the wheels. Eventually fell off, and then put the wheels back on and rode it again until he took them off.
because again, listen, be honest, everybody gets these opportunities, bro. You feel me? Like
Everybody gets them.
I mean, listen, Corbin got that opportunity, right? They were like, we was counting down his matches at NXT. He was the next big thing, right? And Corbin, like, come on. And then this nigga getting chewed out by Von Wagner, cause like I did make it my way to see that. I did make my way to see that. Okay, and I can wrap this up with that, cause this nigga Von Wagner with the meanest list said, "I'll beat your ass."
Man, but before we get out of here, shout out to Edge. You're a legend. We respect the hell out of you. And thank you for all the moments. Shit, that spear off the freaking ladder, never forget it. But you mentioned a guy that I want to really quickly touch on, and that is LA Knight. Will he have the legendary career of Edge? Possibly no, but he might just need this couple of years of specialness to make himself a Hall of Famer. Legit. Give him 5 years of being a really great act and consistently putting in what he's doing right now with Miz and that promo he did on Monday. Loved it. You know, what they're doing with, Rey Mysterio and Austin Theory and Miz, Fatal Four, maybe possibly a payback for the United States Championship. I'm there. I'm locked in. I think that LA Knight has a moment, and if he can capitalize on that, this can be his spot to find himself and finally ride that for the next 3, 4, 5 years. And that's all he
I mean, realistically, like, yeah, like Rock's time wasn't that long, right?
Mhm.
Austin's time wasn't that long. You know what I'm saying? That the time on top, I should say, right?
Yeah.
And not trying to necessarily put him in that category, but you know, a lot of people are comparing this era of like likeness, right? People like him a lot, and they like him a lot because again, that gift of gab is so. This is something again AI can't replace,
Yep.
right? AI can
It's
never
organic charisma.
replace how Stone Cold can come out and tell Vince McMahon, "Shut your bitch ass up, or I'll knock you out, and you gonna sign my check." You know what I'm saying? Like AI can come out there in Versace shirts and slide across the ring and drop an elbow on the British Bulldog like The Rock, and somebody like LA Knight, bro. He be having the worst fits of all time. And he be coming out, let me talk to you. I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? I would never listen to a nigga like that on the street, bro. All right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
If
he's wearing these like
you know, somebody on the street, like, let me talk to him, like, bro, I ain't got no change. You know what I'm saying?
he has like this 80s vest he wears. Yeah, it's interesting, but honestly, I don't see that. Like I genuinely see the charisma when he comes out. Everybody's feeling it, you know. Yeah, he's got us, you know. So like, I just hope they capitalize on it soon. I hope that they do him justice because I think when you put him up against, you know, somebody like Austin Theory, he gonna chew him up. But you put him up against the Miz, it's more of a test and on who and what you are. And I think that the Miz did chew him up on the mic, but LA Knight got right back at him and hit and you know that whole dangerous man part, like calling him like they fuck with you because you're safe, but I'm a dangerous man. And that's why I couldn't get here soon enough. It just put the whole thing in perspective, and it really now you can sell the dangerous man T-shirts. The dude is money.
Yeah, he's only dangerous. I love Eli Drake, but let's be quite honest. He popped. Listen, I don't want to be a hater.
You are though. Go ahead.
No, I don't. I want to be straight up. I want to just like how we was talking about in the chat about this nigga want to talk compare Dak and Tony. You want to bring up Dak and Tony? That's fine. And then Rich want to come off the top rope and be like, "Yeah, Cooper Rush was an all star." I'm like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here, bro!" Like, what me, bro? Yo, it's like, yo, I can see why people get mad at triple threats. Like, this nigga.
And I just come in for the 1, 2, 3, and just I leave. I'm Gunther in this bitch. You guys can fight it out.
Bro,
You,
where
got,
are you
you're,
coming from, bro?
you can be Sheamus and Drew. I'm Gunther. I'll come in there for the finish, and I'm out.
Bro, like Cooper Rush was not no all star. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's go to the tie point, right? Listen, LA Knight can be Lynn's sanity if we fuck around and let it, right? We can't again.
Okay, Lynn Saturday. Okay, I see what you're saying.
We
You're saying
can't
he's
give.
a flash in the pan. You basically
Yeah,
saying
no,
he
I'm saying
is
no. I didn't say he.
Fandango.
Again, again. If you listen, put your
I
listening
am
ears
listening,
on.
but Jeremy Lin was a flash in the pan, was he not?
Again, we talk about long. What I'm saying is, yeah, nigga, you can have a couple games and score 38 points. Yeah, yes, you can do that. What I'm asking you is like, oh, Miz was a test, Dangerous Man is a test. What I was getting to my point was he was not Eli Drake. Okay, I haven't heard of the Dangerous Man, Eli Drake.
Okay.
I realized and recognized he was a dangerous man when they gave him some champagne and he had that promo in NWA. And I said, I like that guy because that was the guy that did this. He was like, my shoes ain't cheap. And then pointing to my jacket. What put me on the map there was that if he has freedom, which again, all wrestlers ask for, tying the bow to our original conversation. I don't necessarily need you to give me the bag for my creative vision. I just need you to give me the backing for my creative decision making. And when these companies are getting a bag, as we say it, it's them securing some form of backing, right? Because as we state, this is a very fringe portion of the populace, and we carry it, no doubt, right? We go to the shows, we buy the merch and everything like that. We can, but we as ourselves don't do that in Wembley. We as ourselves just don't do it in WrestleMania. We as ourselves just don't do it in Royal Rumble. Like, we do need that combination of, Batista's in the movie, let's do some shit.
Timeout. I gotta ask a question.
Yeah.
So then, who's that in Wembley? Who is bringing the fringe fan? Because I think that we did that in Wembley. I don't think there's a big marquee guy over there that's like, I gotta see this guy.
Well, I would say London again. We talk about again London itself, or the UK itself is a hungry place, right? And I think again, like you say, we do that, but the crossover appeal to make wrestling back to where it goes back to the O2 Arena, to where it goes back to Wembley Stadium, to where it goes to Cardiff, right? Mm-hmm. That's a crossover appeal that happens because we take that, the companies take
that. I think they take a pop culture icon and blow it out, and they're like, oh, do you want to go to the wrestling event? You can take your cousin who is on a fringe, and you guys can fill up this stadium and make it a family affair. And people want to see The Undertaker, people want to see Stone Cold, The Rocks, people want to see John Cena's, now Roman Reigns.
So you got those people again who haven't been in such a long time, right? But they're a big movie star. That movie gave the company some money. Now this movie star is front row. Yeah, he ain't never been, or she ain't never been to wrestling before, and you hate that this now vampire stuff is now about to be a part of the movie, and but this Matthew McConaughey, Ryan Gosling heartthrob, you know what I'm saying? Bro, white people got so many famous people, I don't even know.
Wait, what's the point? Wait, where you getting to?
I'm getting to the point that, that's the crossover, nigga. Black people ain't getting this. What are you talking about? Nigga, we ain't giving no money for no checks and checks, huh? Nigga, we got when we did ours, you got Maxim's KFC, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They give some checks and checks. This is what I'm trying to say.
But wait, how does this relate to LA Knight?
This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, good.
White people, LA, Eli Drake was famous to who? Who? That's what I'm trying to thank you. How was he a dangerous man? Well, we know who he was.
Okay, listen. I can't. Okay, it's a long way to get there, but I think I get where you were going.
You know what I'm saying? Miz said, "You dangerous."
Oh my god!
And I said, "Yeah, I'm dangerous." And Miz
you know why? Because I think that I know a little bit about his previous stint in NXT, or when it was the old thing, what was it before NXT? I think FCW or something. FCW. And I think that the Miz was around the same time as him when they came up, and he got canned. They fired him because he had some backstage trouble with some of the trainers. I think it was Bill DeMott. So they let him go, and he just wasn't. He's one of the guys who's going to talk. He's not just going to just do what you want because you say and you think that you can boss me around. And they thought he was being unruly. So I think that's where the dangerous man stems from. And that promo was he was saying, you were safe. You went and just, they knew they could kick you out the locker room. They can't kick me out the locker room because I'm a dangerous man. And I get it. And I thought it was very poignant for him to say that in response.
No, absolutely. And listen, I the nuance version of that, I get that, but I think going back to what I was to the point of like I said, the roundabout nature of what I was making the jokes of is that's my point of flash in the pan, and can you be a mainstay?
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna be wrong.
And a name now, right?
Like I'm not saying that Eli Drake, LA Knight is going to be the face of the company.
No, I didn't know.
No, I know you're not. And I know you're not saying that.
What I'm, again, you just said, no, but what you just said is that I hope they ride his momentum and he can be a Hall of Famer. You're a Hall of Famer and you ride the momentum and you're not a Linsanity. You get that second contract if you are legitimate. That's my
Absolutely.
thing. Like, I'm not going against you and saying that LA Knight isn't legitimate. That's why I say he brings a nostalgia to it, because legitimacy isn't just, again, ring work or what you wear. Like I said, he looked like somebody that he got jeans, a vest with no shirt on. He got 2 watches, sometimes on the same wrist. Like, he's fashionably questionable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which I think that he has some work to do with that for sure. But I think that now that he's finally having his resurgence, like I heard DDP have a interview. He's like, "Listen, LA Knight, I love what he's doing. He's exactly where he needs to be. People think he's there too late, but no, he started like DDP got popping when he was 40 years old, and he's a full Hall of Famer. So it's like, so it's gonna be uphill climb for sure. It's gonna be hard,
And
but
don't get me wrong, in LA Knight can be DDP.
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. He can,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to say. Right? And I'm
Okay.
sorry I didn't. And when I brought up Lynn Sanity, like, can you be Lynn Sanity and come out of nowhere, or can you be, what's I can't even think of it. Shit, I'm cross referencing, but Tom Brady, bro, you're a 6th round, 199th pick, and you only motherfucking play because Mo Lewis obliterated Drew Bledsoe.
It's an underdog story for
Like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and you become legendary in your stint because you maximized the time that you had, right? Again, Tom, game manager, right? For some time, until in practice, Bill was like, you know what? Rip it. You know what I'm saying? He ripped it one time in the game, and he ain't stopped ripping since. I think, like you say, Eli Drake, LA Knight, he's in a situation where they will game manage him in NXT. They game managed him when they tried to make him a manager. So they game managed him to see if he can do the Miz shit, right? Can you get past adversity from the gate? If you can get past the adversity from the gate, then meet the guy who knows about adversity at the gate, and then you guys and once you get past that threshold, like you said, we'll know when that first championship is won, when that DDP United States Championship, again, we making a parallel.
Yep.
If he gets that first United States Championship and he throws it and the crowd go crazy and he can bang and they go, yeah, we got us one, brother.
For sure. Listen, shout out to LA Knight, man. I can't wait to see what the future holds. I'm really down for what he got going on, and I'm thinking that, yeah, man, if they somehow get that title on him, I think it's the right decision to make for sure. But yeah, man, I think that's all.
But real quick before we get out of here, I know we didn't speak too much positivity on the women, but I just want to give a quick Io, Bailey, Charlotte, Bianca 4-way, please, whenever. I don't care. Just let that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bailey gotta weasel her way, and Bianca gonna want.
So that's the foursome you want to see, not the AEW foursome.
No, I just, again, 4-ways happen regardless. So I mean, listen, I would have loved to have seen possibly Athena come for Queen of Champions. I would have loved All In to be like Queen of Champions. I would have loved Hikaru Shida, wrestle Chris Statlander and Athena, and winner, not a winner take all, but like the winner would have won the AEW champion with the possibility of two women having double titles. I think that would have been like a great thing to see. I'm not against multi-win matches. Again, still Bianca has an issue with Io always. Bailey has an issue with Io, and we know Charlotte got an issue with a championship. You know what I'm saying?
So like, my question though is, where's leave Asuka?
Honestly, Kairi Sane is coming back.
Kabuki Warriors, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No. A few.
Oh, I'll be I'm down for that.
Who else? Again, Randy comes back. or Edge comes back, who knows how to take care of him? My best friend, right? Sean comes back, who knows how to take care of me? Triple H, my best friend, right? You know what I'm saying? Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan comes back, who knows how to take care of me? Hey, nigga, I'm wrestling Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sammy. Nigga, I am wrestling the easiest. Like, what do you mean? Like, who, who, who about to take these bumps? Shane was in there, bag, please. It was like my neck.
Yeah, that was a funny time, man. For sure.
Oh man! All right, brother, go get you
My
some
man
rest.
running wild. I'm actually got to do more work, bro. I can't get rest yet, but nah. But we touched on a lot. There's obviously more going on in wrestling, but next week we'll have more because
Oh, we got
honestly,
Samoa Joe and Shane Taylor. I wish that was at All Out or All In or whatever. Nigga, like they gonna make me pay for a paywall for that. I think I got $6 for my brother. I ain't gonna hold you.
shout out to Shane Taylor, man. I'm glad to see him, still active doing his thing. Maybe we can get that ROH championship finally. But yeah, man, I think that's all. All everything is wrestling. All is love, and we'll be back with y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.